Hi, in this video we want to talk about the measures of spread. The first measure of spread is referred to as range. Now range is the difference between the maximum value of a dataset and the minimum value of a dataset. It tells us how our values are spread out. So in this case, for this pattern, our maximum is 60 and our minimum is 2. Since we've already arranged it in ascending order, so from the smallest to the biggest. And making this calculation, you see that our range is 58. But sometimes our range can be quite deceptive, or it can be susceptible to outliers. What this means is that most of our values could be cluttered around the center, but then you have your maximum being something like 82. So 82 is the outlier in this case because it lies outside of the standard deviation of our dataset. So instead of using the range, sometimes we use the interquartile range. Now the interquartile range is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. And the interquartile range is not as susceptible to outliers as the range itself, because the interquartile range tells us what the range is for our middle 50% of the dataset. So the first quartile would be between the minimum and the median. In this case, in the previous video, we determined that 19 was the median. So if 19 is the median, then between our median and our minimum, we have the first quartile. Then between our median and our maximum, we have our third quartile. Then also remember that the median is also referred to as the second quartile. So what the interquartile range tells us is the difference between these set of values here. So that is more within the 20 or the 50% region, since each quartile separates the data into 4 equal parts, each representing 25% of the total data that we have. So inside here we have this 25%, we have that 25%, and then we have this last 25%. And our median, or the interquartile range rather, describes this entire region here. What is the range between our 50%, the middle 50% of our data? Then in this case, that would be 34 minus 9, and that would give us 25. So this is how we calculate our interquartile range, and this is how we calculate our range, and this is what they tell us about our dataset.